Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Monday. Back from an awesome Thanksgiving weekend. Thank you, Chaos Tune. I am indeed live. Good to know. Let me just fix up my settings here. Oh, there's that chat. Oh, it's nice and popped out. Oh, there we go. Um, trying to make sure that I have all my settings correctly here. I'm kind of like I feel like I'm dusting off the cobwebs here after a fun weekend. But yeah, what's going on? How's everyone doing? Good to see people in the chat. Good to see people going everywhere. Today, my plan is I'm gonna do some more Marfa sketches, do some more character designs. I want to really nail down the look. I got a good couple of designs for Sephi in for our Space Chicks characters, and I really like the way she looks. I might fiddle around with her colors, but I did a nice cleanup session with her and really like how that turned out. So I want to get some Marfa sketches started today. And then also, I kind of wanted to talk about some of the things I'm experiencing just in differences between working at home and working at a studio. And it's been interesting. There's been some interesting things going on. So yeah, I thought that'd be a fun topic to talk about. And of course, I'll answer any questions you guys have. Send them if you guys have any questions for me. Please send them on in the chat, and I'll address them as we go along. But yeah, let's just have some fun today, and yeah, dust off some cobwebs. Have a good time, and get things going today. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get that started. Let me put back my little sketch of myself. I love doing these for every show, like just some sketch of myself, uh, blah blah talking away, because I feel like that's in the sense what I'm trying to do here is just give myself something to do and talk away as I go. So all right, let's go ahead and we'll quit that. And no, don't worry about saving that. We'll save it later. And let me bring up Adobe Illustrator. So this is the final result of what I got done for Sephi, and I really like the way she came out. Some of these expressions are really fun. I want to do some more exploration of her later. I just wanted to really get Marfa nailed down. And this is all kind of based off of the sketches that I did over here, where excuse me, I had my kind of like a loose version of the characters kind of figured out. I figured out my shapes, what I wanted to use. Um, I know what the characters the characters are. So now it's just kind of drawing them out, getting used to drawing them. I think I got Sephi down pretty good. So once I get these character models, you know, these poses set up, some turnarounds. I think I should do. I definitely need to do some turnarounds of her body. Just get so we can see the whole costume, see what she's wearing. I can do all that later. I just want to get Marfa set. But once I get all those done, I'm gonna. My next goal will be to build just some rigs. Just get some character rigs down for the characters. Something final, just so I can see what they look like. Um, in the final version before I get started and storyboarding, just so I have an idea of what they need to look like. I'm kind of. I like the idea of going with maybe a lineless look because I feel like that might be easier to animate possibly, but I don't know. We'll figure that out. That's something I talk about with Caretoons because she's also co-creator on this, and I don't want to drive the ship alone on this. So we'll get together and we'll butt some heads and do some notes and come up with that. But let's see here. All right, let me just adjust this. There we go. All right. Oh, we got some people in the chat room here. So yeah, let's. So I want to get started on drawing some Marfa. So let's see here. Let's hide these Sephi sketches. And what I'm thinking, what I like the idea of going like a lineless look is that, and I kind of had this when we did um, the big USC project that we did back last year in 2017. I didn't quite get a chance to fully explore this idea, but the idea was that I wanted to try and give everything kind of like a hand drawn ability, because there's lots of good things, lots of good animation that you can get with puppet rigs that makes it easier to use and quicker to achieve. But every once in a while, there's kind of like a scene where it's like, oh, I really could just draw this out. And sometimes using a puppet, um, like a puppet rig can be, it can kind of lock your mind in on what you want to do. And so having, a rig that's lineless, I think would give you the ability, like, I don't have to worry about building a new hand or getting the line width right. I can just draw the colors, kind of doing that thing. Oh, hey, Spaniel Reyes. Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, Bill. Spaniel Reyes says, hey, Bill, it's been a long time, man. Roomed with you at the sketch gig in Chicago last year. Man, how could I forget you, man? You have been Spaniel Reyes. Look him up on Instagram. He's an awesome artist. I worked with him, doing sketch caricatures at Chicago. And was it just at Chicago that we worked at, or did we do Boston as well? I can't remember. I remember we definitely did Chicago, and we shared a hotel room together, and we just had so much fun at that con. I remember it being slow. Boston too. That's right. You were at Boston, and I remember it being a slow convention, but it was still a lot of fun. And Spaniel Reyes is an awesome artist. At Boston, we all had was that like an Airbnb or something like that we had, and so the whole team was in an Airbnb. And we all were like, I felt like we were in college, like a college dorm room or something like that. It was fun. I had a good time. I definitely want to be able to do some more sketch conventions if I get a chance, because those are fun. Super awesome crew to work with. They're great. Yeah, Spain Rose says, thanks, dude. Like 5 guys in one room. Yeah, I don't know how we got any sleep. I was just so worried about me snoring the whole time. Keeping everyone awake or something. I don't know how anyone else got any extra sleep. Maybe my snoring wasn't so bad. I don't know. All right, but yeah, man, good to see you. Thanks for coming to my channel. It's so awesome. It's awesome to talk to you. How's working going? Are you still at Florida doing caricatures? Anyways, so today I want to do some Marfa sketches, and if I remember with her, what I kind of found out with Steffi is that I kind of like starting off with a big circle. So I'm kind of just sketching through this character of Marfa, and I think I really liked when I was figuring out the shapes, and I might have to start a new file here. I think I might have too many vectors here because I'm noticing that my brush is kind of you can kind of see it as I draw, like it's getting some weird things on it. But anyways, I'm going to keep going with this. I don't have to open up a new file. That's going to take too long. I'll just work with what I've got here. But, I'm just trying to kind of suss out this character here. And kind of like piece together what the shapes were. I really liked, I was kind of toying with before, kind of giving her a head shape similar to Seffi's, but there's something about Marfa having this kind of like blockish head that I really like about her. Like, just like she needs to be a block. And Ghost? No ghost. Let's see here. Spaniel Reyes says, good, you're actually moving to LA in January. Sorry to distract you. Love your work. Oh, dude, you're not distracting me at all. No, don't worry about it. One of the reasons why I love streaming is because I get to talk to people, and it keeps me motivated. That's one of the things I plan on talking about when I talk about the difference between working home and working at studio. But don't worry about that, and that's awesome, man. Let me know when you're in LA. I'd love to get together and do lunch or something. Or I might be working again. I'm waiting to hear back from some jobs I applied to, and if that's the case, I'd love to have you can come on by wherever I'm be working at, and I'd love to give you a tour and stuff. It'd be awesome to see you. Good luck with that move to LA. That's awesome, man. Are you looking for work, or what are you looking to do in LA when you get here? Just sort of. All right, so let me get back. What was I talking about? That's right. Yeah, as I'm drawing Marfa here, like I like this big blocky head for her. I think it's a nice, nice transition into this kind of like wavy, doughy body that very much follows the rice sack, conventions. I think keeping to that kind of like that sort of like sack of potatoes body works for her. And I kind of I was toying around with this idea of like, oh, just having her be this big blobby marshmallow, but it just didn't work. And there's something fun about her having, this, like, she's still just a tiny little, you know character, and she's round, but I don't know, there's something nice and bouncy about this. Hey, what's going on, Pickle Nick? Hello, what's happening? Good to see you again. Spaniel Ray says, that'd be great. Love to hang out. I'm looking to getting into studios. Gonna start applying soon, but I'll be working at Universal doing caricatures in the meantime. Awesome, man. Good to hear. Good to hear. Well, yeah. Yeah, let me know what. Yeah, I'd love to get together and meet you see you in person, man. And let's get together. Let's see what's let's chat, man. That'd be awesome. Well, I'd love to welcome you to LA. And stuff. It's there's kind of a boom right now in work. I know there's a couple of studios popping up. Netflix is becoming a big player in town. A lot of the other studios are upping up their level of production. I don't know how long it's gonna last because things don't last forever like this, but right now it's definitely a boom in hiring. So if you've got, if you nail down what it is you want to do, then being here and getting your workout is a great step. I mean, nothing's ever set. I mean, it's still a hard industry to transition into, but it's a good time right now. It's definitely a better time than normal, I guess. But yeah, man, yeah, let's get together. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, like what was I talking about? All right, right, working on Sephi here. She's a fun character, and I think this potato sack shape for a body just works for her better. So I'm gonna stick with that. I think with her going forward, giving her these big meaty arms and these tiny little legs, I think works just well for her, and she can be a little more pliable and a little more fun. So let's see here. So yeah, hey, what's Chaos Tune? Chaos Tune says, sorry, one. I was just putting stamps on my cards, mailing out tomorrow. Oh, awesome, man. Good to hear you're sending out your Christmas cards. So yeah, one of the things I'm kind of like finding that's interesting is when I was doing streaming last year, and I started working at Warner Brothers, and it was interesting. Like there's definitely, I mean, obviously there's a different dynamic as far as working in a studio but at home. But it was interesting because one of the things I kept telling myself when I was at Warner Brothers, and this happened a couple of times because I was almost let go, and I was like, oh well, I'm not too worried about it. If I get let go, I just go back to streaming and working on freelance work, and I'll be, it was kind of a nice way to inoculate myself against stress. But when it actually did happen, and I did, I got let go, it was interesting because I didn't immediately jump back into streaming. I got down a little bit. I did beat myself up, so I wasn't as inoculated against it as I thought I was. But what happened was the difference between, like, the difference I found out between working at a studio and working at home, I think is, for me, was having the people to interact with. And that's why it was so important for me to get back into streaming. Cartoons ate a bag of Oreos and watched all Game of Thrones. Nice. Oh, you're talking about me. Yeah, I wish I had done that. I should have done that. Why did I take advantage of that? That was poor planning on my part. But no, yeah, like that was I found the importance for me of streaming, cuz for me the best part about working at Warner Brothers, um and don't worry, Free 67, welcome back. Good to see you, man. I'm still kind of abbling for my words. So you haven't missed much. Um but yeah, the importance for me of streaming was that it was, and I say this, and this is kind of what just keeps me doing it, even though, I mean, I'm not making it, there's no real, I guess, other motivation than the fact that I get to come and talk to you guys. And that gets me motivated. It gets me excited. It gets my blood moving. Even just prepping before, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I have to set up and do before I stream, that just like, okay, I got stuff to do. I need to do a sketch of myself. I need to get that ready. I need to make sure my computer is put together. I need to make sure my setup works. My mic is properly set up. I have my spit take in the right place. There's a lot to do, and it's stuff that and I like doing it, and so I do that, and it's because when you're working from home, and this is for me talking. I know everyone else has their own challenges from working from home, but for me, the biggest challenge was just kind of like getting started on stuff, getting the motivation. Like, I get up and then, oh, I've got a list. Maybe I'll make a list to do, or maybe I'll do this, or I'll do, oh, and right after I got let go, it was hard to find the motivation, mostly because my mind wasn't in the right place. Excuse me, I'm yawning. I'm in like halfway between a yawn and talking here. My mind wasn't in the right place. I was excited. There was so many things going on in my head, but what was keeping me from really getting back to streaming was that I had a job prospect that I was really excited about, and I still have this job prospect, but it was taking a long time for it to really manifest in anything. In the back of my head, I kept telling myself, like, well, if I get streaming started, but then I get a job immediately, I might have to stop streaming, and that's going to be disappointing. And maybe I don't want to put myself through that, and maybe I don't want to, So maybe I'll just hold off on streaming until I get a yes or a no. And that was a huge mistake to make, for me, because it just stopped me from doing the things I wanted to do. And instead of doing the things I wanted to do, I was in limbo. I was just stuck, and it was causing a lot of things to suffer because I I wasn't busy. And that for me is one of the big differences between working at home and working in a studio. So I go to a studio, I'm physically driving to work. I boop in with my card. I say hi to everyone. I sit at my desk. I'll check my email. Maybe I'll warm up with a sketch or something like that. And then I'll get to work. And I'll look at my list of stuff I need to do, and I'll get to work. And I know exactly what I need to do. And lunch comes around. There's a schedule. It's a regiment. And that's a nice routine. When you're at home, you have to kind of build it yourself. And I know people are really good at that. There's people that are, Caretoons is really good at that, and she's been kind of an inspiration for me. I watch her, she did a lot of work from home, and it was great seeing her work at that. But that it's like, yeah, if you're gonna work from home and do freelance, you gotta kind of set up your own schedule. You gotta kind of schedule it like you're in the office. Let's see here. Free 67. You found that getting into a routine each day helps you stay somewhat on task. Exactly. That's it. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And streaming helps me do that. And that's why I do it, because it gives me, like I said, I know every day I'm going to stream at 11, so I got to be ready for that. And I got to have everything set together, and I got to have my sketch done, and I organize the day around it. I have a call with a client that I scheduled well after the streaming. I have there's people coming to work on the door, and it's like, oh, well, I'm going to be streaming during this time. I didn't tell them I'm going to be streaming, but can you guys come back, when I'm done with this? And it's like, it gives you something to task your day around, to schedule it, and make it going. And yeah, Free 67, you're absolutely right. Having that routine really helps. Hey, Pickle Nick says, hey, it's Pickle Nick, it's Pickle Nick, or is that you say Pickle Rick? Cartoon says, well, you do drive to work, Bill. He makes the car driving noises. I do that. It's helped because I literally go from our kitchen, which is just down the hallway, and I'll take up my breakfast and like, all right, honey, I'm going to work. And I drive to work. Mostly because I like doing it because it makes Karen laugh. But yeah, like it actually makes me feel like I'm going to work, and then I come in here and I'm like, okay, I'm in work mode, I'm in my work mindset, and I've got stuff to do. And surprisingly, it's been really helping me get stuff done. I had a lot of emails I needed to send off right before I started streaming today. I needed to figure out what I was going to talk about. It's like you just kind of like figure out what helps you get through the day. And oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna have to open up a new file here. Let me see if I can. I need to open a new file here because this is killing me. This file has gotten so big from all the Cephy drawings that it's really bogging me down. So I'm gonna open up a new one. This is just not working. So I'm gonna save this one and I'll open up a new one. Spanuarius, haha, that's an awesome way to start your workday. It is. And it's been working out. I have been really liking the way it's working out for me. One of the things about working just being in the industry or being a professional is being flexible. Because, and I learned this when I worked in games, but it's still true in working in television work. Transitioning over to television work is that you need to be flexible in how you think and what you kind of do. I mean, if you're working from home, I mean, you already kind of know the kind of flexibility you need to have because you're probably doing clients. You're doing if you're working on animation as a freelance job, there's a lot of flexibility that you have to be successful. But what also the kind of flexibility you need to survive with animation is you need the flexibility of being able to kind of like learn and adapt on the fly. Because every and I learned this, like I said, I learned this in games. In games, every game that I worked on had a different method of producing things, had a different method of how it wanted its assets used, how it the programs they were using, all these different things that you need to kind of learn. The programmers operated differently. They want, I only work with TIFFs, or I only work with pings, or our engine that we built has to be your files have to be exported this way. And there was new ways of working that you had to learn on the fly. Like, you had to kind of pick them up as you went, because it wasn't stuff that they could tell you about in the interview. And two, you just had to kind of be open to learning it, and that became a good skill set. And I'm finding that that's true with television. Even though television has been around for a lot longer, it seems that because I think the technology is creeping in, as I make a creeping, that's creeping in right there. As the technology, from that, a lot of the technology tools from gaming and animation and artwork and that are getting into television production. That's definitely changing the way the jobs work. And now you'll have jobs, sadly, where I'm doing the work of 3 or 4 previous positions, you're now in just one position. And again, every show works differently. I mean, there's shows being done with Toon Boom, there's shows being done with Animate, there's shows that are CGI, shows that are still traditionally done on boards and shipped overseas. You have to be able to be flexible. And as Cartoons just said, if anyone asks if you know something, say yes, and then watch YouTube tutorials later. Yeah, you have to be able to you can't just be so regimented or like, I only know how to do this. Like, I mean, you gotta to survive and make a good career and make and keep moving. I mean, yeah, you have to keep moving. You have to, like I said, you have to be flexible. Um, let's see here. Chaos Tune says that's how I got my little gaming gig. I have Animate, so I just said yeah and figured it out later. Exactly. That's perfect to a T. Exactly what you need to do. Let's see here. Spaniel Reyes says, I've actually been hearing that quite a bit about applying to studios. That's real? Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, it's interesting if you're applying to like the like I've said this before, I think, but yeah, the some of the advice I got when I was trying to transition into television work was just focus, your portfolio on the job that you want to do, and that's still true. If you're applying to be like a character designer, just show design, show characters, show that you know how to develop things, show that work. There's no reason to show storyboards or animation when you're doing, yeah, when if you're applying to do character design. But knowing that you know how to do it, or when you get in there and you say like, hey, I also know how to do this and also do that, like that's important too. Oh, I'm on the wrong tool. My goodness, where's my brain today? um Whoops. Come on, give me my right tool. Where's my good tool? There's my brushes. All right. Oh, I know why. There we go. There's my good brush. There we go. That's what I wanted to use. Let's see here. Yeah, Cartoon says you don't have to be a brilliant expert in order to say you're familiar with something. Exactly. You just know, have some knowledge in it, and the rest you can learn. You can figure out what it is that the way they like to use the program, or the way they like to handle things on their show. There's certain things, ask questions. It's totally fine. Just that's it's okay to make a mistake. I think that's one of the biggest things I learned recently too, is that it's okay. The work you turn in does not have to be perfect the first time out. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to have things to change. They understand that. If you work in a production where they don't understand that, then that's not your fault. That sounds like a bad production. And there are those out there. There are bad projects. There's bad clients. There's bad productions. There's always that. But on a good production, ask those questions, because that's your job as a professional. You should, you want to know everything everything that you need to do for your job. So ask those questions, figure out what it needs to do, turn in work, learn on the fly. And the way you learn on the fly is by making mistakes. You get things wrong. Oh, I like this. This is looking good. I think I got a bit of a cold. Not a cold, but something in the air or something. You guys don't care. But yeah, like that's like I said, that comes from the importance of staying flexible. You stay on your game. When you're working at a studio, I don't know if there's any difference between you want to be flexible when you're working at home, and you want to be flexible when you're working in a studio. It's almost funny how they kind of can build on each other. Yeah, Cartoon says gotta be open to learn, and she's absolutely right. She's definitely right. Let's see here. Pickle Nick says, I love to work on tunes, but I don't get started. The most fun and enjoyment I ever had was coloring cleanup on lines for the Carbonate and Mike Milo. That's right. You did that one. Are you talking about getting like your own project started, Pickle Nick? Let's see here. Free67 says, flexible. Hell, I haven't touched my toes in decades. I know. I'm the king of inflexible legs. I am the king of it. Let's see here. Pickle Nick says, yes, I can never get things going. I think, and you know what? uh, Pickle Nick, I mean, to be brutally honest, I kind of have a similar problem. I mean, even with this like this Space Chicks idea that I'm working on right here with these characters, like we've had these characters floating around in our heads. We've had this desire to work on them for forever, and we completely have the knowledge of what we need to do if we want to make this into a show. A lot of times it's just getting started on drawing getting that first drawing going, or writing a line on that first on the script. Don't sell yourself short on just finishing it up on what other people's things are doing. Granted, that's a good skill. Cleaning up and coloring other people's work's a good skill, but don't sell yourself short on that. A lot of times it's just doing something that gets you started. Like for me, that's streaming in the morning. That gets me started on it. Like honestly, I do it because I like talking to everyone. I like sharing the knowledge I have, and I like getting these conversations. But yeah, it's the selfish part of it is, it gets me started. It's something to get me started. Even if it's like, I drew so many sketches and start off with so many just dumb drawings of something, but it's gotten me started. It's gotten me going. I'm learning that works. Like, there's part of me that's lazy and wants to just jump to a finished drawing, which I can totally do. I could sketching out a almost done picture of Marfa here. But there's something about starting with a sketch, starting with a rough version that works for me. That it's something to get started on. That's why, if you're working on a big project like a storyboard or an animation, just do something small. Just do something small that gets you going. Because you'll find that you'll do most of your problem solving and figuring out if you're moving the pencil. If I'm moving my pencil and I'm moving my pen and I'm sketching something, my brain gets going, oh yeah, I can do this. I can put her hair like this. I can get this going. What do I else need to do for this pose? Drawing and doodling, it's all problem solving. And to get your brain in that mode of problem solving, you have to start with something. You have to. It's like putting the key in the ignition. Or I don't have a good metaphor thought of about this, but it's putting something on paper. That's why I love this idea that we're trying with these characters. I mean, I showed them last time. I was having so much trouble writing these, or figuring out writing. I thought like, I have to take a writing class, or I have to learn how to make a script. And Karen bopped me over my head and said, no, let's just start with the ideas. Let's get the jokes in there. And that's where we got these sketches from. And I'll kind of show them here. These sketches of these characters just doing funny things. And all of a sudden, and that got the ideas flowing. All of a sudden now, it wasn't like I had to learn how to write and I had to learn how to format a script. No. That had nothing to do with it. That's if I want to be a writer. But I don't want to be a writer. I want to make cartoons. And writing is only just part of it. And it's like, I want to get this project going. That's more important. Sometimes getting a project going is more important than becoming a expert at a part of it. That's my put that quote on my tombstone. It's more important to get a project started than to be an expert at a part of it, because you can waste a ton of time. And Pickle Nick, you say you're scared to fail, and I hear that. And I understand that, because you can get that fear of failure. You can get stuck there and nothing comes of it. That's why it's best to have at least put something on the paper. Cartoons, you just gotta do it. You just gotta Shia LaBeouf that shit, There's something to that notion of, just do it. And doing it doesn't mean just do the whole thing. But getting it started is what is important. And just getting it started is the most important thing. And I can keep reiterating myself here. I'm going around in circles in my brain. But I hear that because I have that fear too. Like, oh, what if it's bad? What if it doesn't work out? What if I don't get it done? And those are all they're all questions that we all ask ourselves. Um, but before they're all questions that we ask ourselves. But I completely lost my train of thought. I'm trying to dull wisdom, and my brain's just like. Yeah. Just remember, it's important to get started and find something that helps you get going. If something comes in the way, don't worry about it, but just keep it going. If that once that wheel starts turning, it's easier to keep going. That's why cars start with first gear, because that's the easier wheel to get going. I was trying to explain how a clutch works to my kids, and I have no way any mechanical knowledge, but I was trying to explain like, oh well, they start with the first gear because that's easier to get started, and then you go to the next ones, and those ones keep going, get the car rolling faster. But that's true. That's true in doing making cartoons, making comics, doing projects, any long-term project that takes like that. Getting it started is probably always the hardest part. And so that's why, streaming's important. Talking with people, whatever it takes you to get started, do that, because that's gonna keep you going. That's gonna get you started and take you far. Let's see here. Cartoons. I picture kicked in the dick as not a forceful thing, but a very small kick directed at a very small area. Oh, like not the crotch. Oh no, Cartoon says, just specifically the dick, and the dick alone. Oh, that was good. And now the whole conversation has been derailed. We went from talking about motivation to getting kicked in the dick. A very small kick in the dick. I can't get any work done now. Oh my gosh, I'm laughing too much. Oh, see, I mean, I love this. This is the best. I love this about streaming with you guys. I mean, um, this is so much fun. I love talking about. It's always been a fun pastime of mine. I get together with friends. I get together with with other artists I know, and I love talking about shop. I love talking about what they're working on. I've said this before about I don't know if I've said it on the stream, but I've lived in the three major cities in California. I've lived in San Diego, I lived in LA, and I lived in San Francisco. They're both three great cities. I haven't lived in Sacramento, but I don't know if that's considered a major city. Sorry if I offend anyone in Sacramento. But yeah, San Diego, LA, and San Francisco. And out of all three of them, LA is my favorite place to work, to live and work in. And I think it's because I love the energy here. San Diego is very much a tourist city. Nothing wrong with that. But it's very much a tourist city. And from growing up there, it always seemed to be the mission of San Diego is to not be like LA. Because San Diego had a very negative view of LA. It was mostly, I think, during the riots of the 90s and stuff. But yeah, they just did not want to be like LA, and so I don't know what it is, but they just didn't want to do that. San Francisco, another fun city, but it seemed very cliquey. Like, it was hard to find out when anything was going on. I remember when we first moved there, we were just going downtown, and all of a sudden we were driving downtown it was at night. We just wanted to view some stuff around, and all of a sudden there were people like just coming out of nowhere with pillows, and turns out there was a giant citywide pillow fight going on, and we were like, that's awesome. There was no way to find out about that unless you knew, like, it seemed like if you knew, like, you had to know, like, the right 5 people to, like, everyone's very much cool of, like, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm just going to tell all the people I know. And it's like that seemed to be the case for like everything. You just had to know the right people in San Francisco. Like it's very cliquey. And I mean, it was cool. Like I said, really cool things out there. But LA, I love LA because I don't know. My take on LA is that LA is this awesome city where everyone's working on something. Everyone's working on something. Either they have a script, a show, anything. They're always working on something, and they want everyone to come see it. And that's my take on the cities and stuff. And yeah, I don't know if that's right or accurate, but I probably completely went off topic. Bill blab. See, that's why I always draw myself blah blah blahing away, because that's exactly what I do. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat, because I've been seeing a whole bunch of activity in the chat. Let's see here. Pickle Nick says, I never think my ideas are good enough. I mean, who can compete with SpongeBob and Teen Titans Go or South Park or Rick and Morty? Just not that clever. No, but you see, you can't think that way. You can't just say like, oh, this stuff's better out there, I shouldn't do it. That's stupid talk. That is stupid talk, Pickle Nick. Because you can't because there's something out there that's good doesn't mean that you can't create that. It's not like that the people who create these things are gods among men and they've thought about the right thing. No, they're just people, and either they just, I mean, I don't want to take away from their ability, but it's not that they're doing something that other human beings can't do. You just have to that's why you start your project and you adjust it and you use your best judgment and you have fun with it, and there's skill factors involved in there, yes, but it's not like it's something that can't be done by other human beings. I mean, humans can learn how to write, humans can learn how to draw, humans can learn how to do things because other humans do them. So, don't sit there and say, oh, I can never make something as awesome as that. Well, have you tried? Just do it. Again, it goes back to just Shia LaBeouf that shit. And yeah, I mean, Caratoons is absolutely right. Adventure Time got laughed at repeatedly, and it got rejected everywhere, and then it became a huge hit. And everyone loves it. I mean, became a massive hit, and people who worked on that show have gone on to make other massive, huge hits. So it's like you can't sit there and sell yourself short just because there's other people out there doing things that you respect. You can make that stuff. You just, I mean, one of the biggest things from working at a studio that Karen and I, excuse me, that Karen and I saw is that I think our expectations that we put on ourselves are too high. And a lot of times Karen will look at them, Karen will look at we'll look at each other, and our phrase to each other is always like, we're working too hard. It's not that the work is easy, or that, it's more just like our expectations, like with this Space Chicks and stuff. I think we finally hit a moment where we're like, we can do this. It's stupid of us to sit back and think that we can't do this, because with all the stuff that we've done and all the stuff that we've proven to ourselves that we can do, it's like we can make this happen. So we're gonna do it. There's no excuses now, and it has nothing to do with we can't produce work that's good enough. That's baloney. I've seen the work that gets produced out there, and it's great, and it's not like it's anything that we can't do. And I don't say that out of hubris, like, oh, look at us, we're so fancy pants. It's just more like, no, we can do this. And sometimes, like I said, we had to change our perspective on it, because it's easy to get sucked into like this mythology, like, oh, all the creators and these writers and these artists are amazing, and they do great work, and the work they do is awesome, but it's easy to get sucked into like this notion that they have like superpowers or something like that. It's not a superpower. It's just the end result of their time and work and dedication to it. And that's true of everything that human beings do. Spaniel Reyes says, gotta get back to work on some stuff. Have a good day, everyone. Hey, Spaniel Reyes, thanks for coming by, man. Let me know when you're in LA. I would love to hear from you, dude. Love to get lunch or something. It'd be awesome. But yeah, like don't like sitting back and saying that you're afraid or that you can't do that kind of work. That's, like I said, that's stupid talk. It's a mental trap that it's easy to fall into, and I've fallen into it myself. It's easy to, like I said, it's super easy to fall into. Don't sell yourself short. You can do that. I got to talking a lot. I gotta go back a little bit in the chat. Let's see here. Oh, what's going on, TR the Animator? Good to see you again, man. Let's see here. Pickle Nick says, I keep saying you need a team. Man, you build that team from, you know what? You don't need a team, but you build the team when you need it. It's like when Karen and I did the USC project. It was a great learning experience for us because we didn't have the time to sit there and like, let's create the dream team. And we went to Hawkeye's house and we convinced him to leave his parents, or, you know, we had to call up no, it's like we were like, okay, who's available? Who do we know? Who can we call? And we said we need a team. Who can we call? And the people we called responded, and they got the ones that got the job. There were a couple of people that we called, they weren't available. That's okay, but you get the team when you need the team. So don't worry about forming the team and then getting your task. Get your task together, and as you go along, you say, oh, we need a team for this. Oh, I need someone for this. This needs to be done. And it's like I said, it's solving those problems. And if you over anticipate problems, then you can then you'll trip yourself up. Deal with the problems as they show up, and that's a much better way of organizing that problem, those problems that are going on. Let's see here. Chaos Tune. I don't believe in good ideas. All ideas are good. It's the execution idea. Absolutely right, man. You got a good point there. Absolutely right. It's ideas and executing them, and yeah, absolutely. Cartoon says, look into what the original short was that sparked Rick and Morty. It's terrible. It looks nothing like this show does today, and it's absolutely right. It's like the nugget of Rick and Morty is in that original short, and they like dusted it out, broke it apart, polished it up, and what became Rick and Morty. For the original short, it's like this is what spawned Rick and Morty, and it's what spawned it, because like I said, the essence is there, but it wasn't like it had to be like this amazing thing. And a lot of times that's what ideas start from. A lot of shows that you know and love started with a pitch that was completely different, but it's through the hard work and the dedication and the polishing and the like I discovered with working at Warner Brothers when I did on this show, it was like everyone took a pass at it, and every time that team member would take a pass at the storyboard, it was to improve it or to add to it or to solve a problem. Oh, this episode's 30 seconds over. We need to shave some time, or we're 3 minutes under time. We need to add something here. It was all about solving those problems, and that's what you're doing on a production when you're working on in a team and you're working on a production like that. You're all solving problems, and when you look at it that way, all of a sudden now, I know for me, you know, issues of, oh, am I a good enough artist? Am I drawing well enough? Those kind of fall away, because it's like, well, I can solve this. I know what to do here, and like I said, it's mindset. It's a great way of thinking about it and getting into it. Let's see here. Chaos Tune says, okay, I need a shirt that says just Shia LaBeouf that shit. I mean, I just Shia LaBeouf it. Just do it. Let's see here. PickleNet says, yeah, Bill and Karen, just Shia LaBeouf that shit. Let's see here. KS2, and I feel like that all the time. Like that new Woody Woodpecker series coming on YouTube is totally within your wheelhouse. Exactly, and it's like, you see stuff, and it's like, I could do that, and don't feel that you like it has. it's a good feeling. It's realizing, oh, I have abilities here. I have things to show, and use that to kind of like, I don't know, I see it as a good feeling because it helps me build confidence, and having that confidence to know that I can say something. I have something important to say. I have a way to solve this. It's a good way to think about yourself. And a lot of times getting that confidence will help you start your project, which is, like, as I've said, important. Oh my goodness, the chat's getting way ahead of me here. Let's see here. Cough cough, Carrotinville would be a team. Free 67, you said, look at it. Pickle Neck, look at it. I look at it, I know I'm funny, but I also know I have some jokes that totally bomb. Thing is, I don't know if it'll work till I just Shia LaBeouf that shit and try it. There's something, yeah, like not every joke, not every idea you have is going to be a great, wonderful idea. This is one of the reasons I can bring in why for my streaming, the reasons why I try to just stream an hour every day, because it's a short, quick thing. It's something that it just takes up an hour of my day. I get a bunch of people who are fun to talk to, but I don't have to worry about this being a really good episode, or like if I say something stupid, or if like my hat comes off, or like if something goes wrong, I'm not worried, because this is just an hour a day. I'll do another stream tomorrow, and it's not a big deal. And I like doing this that way because it takes all the stress out of it. I'm not stressed about streaming. I'm excited about streaming. And the same goes for doing your work. If all I'm sketching out is just, characters like this, and I'm not worried about, making them beautiful, or I'm not working on making this amazing sketch. I'm just trying to figure out a pose. I'm not. It takes all the worry out of it. It takes all the stress out of it. It's now, I can just, I don't like that arm. I can delete it. I can put a new arm in. Starting off with something rough and something I'm not worried about or afraid of or stressing out about is a great way to start a project. Start off with a rough sketch. Start off with, something that has no, I'm not worried about, I'm trying to think of the word here. There's no expectations on a sketch like this. It's not something that's going to be put in front of a large audience or something that has to hold up under scrutiny. It's just a quick sketch. I'm dealing with concepts and ideas here. Exactly. And by the way, welcome. I'm going to say your name wrong. Hold on, I got to look closer. Cisadora. Exactly. No pressure. Exactly. Said it perfectly right. 3D Dylan Star. Hey, thanks for coming by. I'm glad you like the stream. I'm trying to, keep it fun. And yeah, no pressure. And that's important. And I see a lot of, I did some portfolio reviews with CTN Bootcamp. Did I say your name wrong? Dylan? It's Dylan or Dylan? I'm I'm sorry, so sorry if I butcher your name. I do not mean it. I've got my my eyes are I'm trying to see the names here. I'm so sorry. If I butcher your name, please tell me how to say it. But yeah, I was doing portfolio reviews with CTN Bootcamp, and I saw a lot of really good students showing off some really good work, and I'm killing it. They were showing the work, but a lot of times it's different. Like if you want to be like a concept artist or a character designer, finished work is important because that's an important thing. But if you're doing storyboards, they had really cleaned up work, and it's oh, you know what? don't worry about making it so cleaned up. I know there's shows where you have to keep it cleaned up, where they want the drawings on model, but even then they sometimes have someone who will do that. They'll have like a revisionist position, or they'll have a cleanup position, someone that goes in and makes the boards on model. What you want to focus on is your storytelling. And I just said, like, just start off with roughness. Don't, especially when you're starting a board, don't try and, start off with a giant, clean, epic drawing of natural wonder. Just slop on some hills. And I've made this mistake, and I continue sometimes to make this mistake because I got sucked into this mindset of having to make it perfect. Just get it on the thing. Have an idea. Put your character, just get it on there. Don't worry about how it looks. Just keep it rough. Because you can go in and adjust it. You can tweak it. You can mold it into what you want it to be in the end. But, keep it rough in the beginning, because that's just your concept stage. That's just where you're dealing with the ideas, and keep it rough and loose. And that's where you'll find better storyboards. That's where you'll find better, that's where you'll find your ideas, is when you're dealing in that concept stage. Let's see here. What else is going on in the chat here? Cisadora, there we go. I keep thinking that looks like an L. Cisadora says, to be honest, the small little doodles can really snowball and become big, cool projects. Exactly. Last year when I was streaming, or 2016 when I was streaming, I started off with a rough sketch of it was a rough sketch of a skydiver character, and that snowballed into a big project that turned into, a short story, a little thing, a whole big idea. And you never know where those are going to do. And that's why again, if you've got that big blank paper, that intimidating big blank paper, just draw something. Start with a circle. Just draw something. Keep it on there. Just get something on that paper. Because you can work with something on the paper. When you have nothing on the paper, there's nothing to work with. And just so that's why, again, just Shia LaBeouf that shit. All right, let's see here. What we got here? I'm killing it. Yep, I got that. Thank you, Twitch Gamer. Chaos Tune says storyboards are blueprints for you. Don't worry about winning an Annie over it. Exactly. They're just supposed to be ideas. You're just supposed to be putting it down there. And I know it's easy to get sucked into, because you're thinking, like, I gotta show this off. I want it to look good. If the ideas are clear enough, they will come through. That's why you have comics and stories and animation that can be entertaining when they're like stick figures, or they're crude construction paper like South Park. The end art style does not mean is not as important as those ideas coming through. And if you learn how to clearly tell your ideas, then you're rocking it. You're making it come through. Twitch Gamer, your jokes are less funny read out of context. I'm sorry, I've been reading them all late. I'm reading them all late here. All right, I want to at least get one more good Marfa sketch in here before I'm done. But guys, this has been a really fun stream today. It feels good to be back after Thanksgiving. I want a really good sketch of Marfa, because Marfa is all about confidence, maybe a little overconfident. So let's get a good one here. Here we go. Yeah, this has been a great stream, you guys. Send me, if you guys follow me on Instagram. If you're not, I feel like Instagram is probably the best way to get a hold of me. Follow me on Instagram, and if you have any ideas for topics or questions you want to ask me, send them to me, and I'll do an episode where I talk about that topic. I'm posting all the episodes I'm doing. Like today's will show up on my YouTube channel. So if like if you want to re-listen to stuff, or hey, I missed some of the advice, I really want to hear that again. It's all gonna go up on my YouTube advice. Oh hey, we got some bits. Well, we all know what happens when bits happen. Boom, we get dancing Dasper. we get dancing kitty. But anyways, yeah, like I said, it's all the archive is going up on my YouTube channel. I need to put a link to it on my board, but just go to YouTube, and that looks too. Martha's a happy, wide-eyed. There we go. That's more Martha. Yeah, I'll put just go to YouTube, search for Bill Drastel. I'm the only one on there. And just I'll post this video up, and all the archive for all the videos I've been redoing this year are up there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put. I don't know if I'll be posting all the videos from my last session of streaming, which was all the streaming I did in 2016. I'll have to look at those and see what's on there, see if those files are still good. They probably are. But I'll look and see if there's anything I want to do with those, or I might just post them all up. Who knows? We'll see if there's any interest in seeing them. Oh, Free67, thank you for posting a link. Let me know what you guys. Yeah, if you guys, like I said, let me know if you guys have any questions or anything you guys want to hear me talk about. The next thing I got a chance to talk with Mixtape Comics, and she totally wants to do an interview, so I think that'd be fun. I'm trying to figure out how to set that up. I know Cartoons wants to get involved with that, so we'll figure out a date, and I'll let everyone know when that's going to happen. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, any fun topics you want me to talk about. I'm pretty much done for the day. I'll be back up tomorrow, streaming again at 11 a.m. for an hour, so guys, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, let me know if you have any topics. Follow me on Instagram at Bill_Drastel. And you guys, thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.